Hey, what's up, everybody? Plugman FT here. We did it. I just finished Trails of Cold Steel 4. I have no words for this game, this whole series as a whole. Just Trails of Cold Steel 1 through 4 alone. I can confidently place this at the best JRPG I've ever played. Confidently. I knew I was a little skeptical at first, given, Persona 5 would hit so hard for me. But everything about Trails of Cold Steel just took it to a different level. This game, the gameplay, the characters, the development, the story, the plot, the subplots, everything going on, the world building, the animations for the fights, the voice acting, the music. This is no means or no way of me saying that Persona 5 isn't good, but everything that Persona 5 was to me, this completely just took it to a different level. And I honestly feel kind of spoiled because I feel like no other JRPG is going to give me this level of just emotion, experience, just joy playing it. Like, seriously, I haven't played a game that made me feel as happy as it did in certain moments, literally made me cry. I was a mess at points, especially like this final chapter. Like, I tell you, dude, like the amount of toilet paper and freaking tissues I've gone through, it's insane. I can't even begin to like explain it. But first, let's just run through the stuff that happened. We went into the Imperial Fortress. It was pretty much the same layout as other final boss dungeons for the games. We run through, face a mini boss, face a boss. We fought Major Lecter, Major Claire, beat them. They tried to kill themselves. We stopped them, thankfully. So then we hit our first the rivalry of the Imperial Fortress, which was Bloody Shirley, and Cedric. And we were able to weaken Cedric's the hold that the curse had over him, and he actually like kind of snapped out of it. He was like, what have I done? And he stopped being a little scumbag, basically, and he decided to fight us fairly alongside Shirley. We went into the rivalry and we defeated the whatchamacallit?
Lecter.
I almost called it the Ebon Knight. We defeated the Crimson Apocalypse, or the whatever, you know what I mean. We defeated,
Tell me this is just a
I forget the name. Sorry, Testarossa, that's its name. The Vermilion Apocalypse. We defeated Testarossa and absorbed its power into us. And, Cedric passed out. Shirley passed out as well. She said she saw Cedric as like a little brother. That's why she kind of like felt like she needed to protect him. And there, at first, she was like, it's not like he's my type. I'm into girls, which we already knew. Shirley and Angelica, that would be a wild couple. I couldn't even see that happening, but I could totally see that happening. So they pass out. It's time to move on. And on to the next, we fight Maribel and Campanella. And that fight was a little tricky just because Campanella kept screwing over my S-crafts and I ended up one-shotting so many of my allies. It was kind of insane. We beat them, and then we actually get a little bit of information out of them in regards to the Phantasmal Blaze plan, because it almost seemed like at this point in the game, Ouroboros has been pushed to the sidelines. Their plans and their priorities have been overshadowed by, Osborne. So they explained that it's pretty much close to its end, the Phantasmal Blaze plan, and I was like, oh crap! So they've been working on that crap even though. So they said they're just there to witness the reforming of the Great One. And let's see. Oh yeah, so they mentioned the Grand Master. It seems like in the future, because I know I said, what's going to happen? What could even happen for the next Trails game? I think it'll revolve more around Ouroboros now and the Grand Master. And I want to know who the Grand Master is so bad, dude. I don't know if they've dropped hints or like have basically revealed it, but I'm very excited to figure that out in the future. I want to know who the Grand Master is and why this person has basically just taken a backseat on everything, The world's about to end and the Grand Master is just chilling somewhere, I guess. So that's interesting. So they take their leave, and then next we have to fight Rufus and
no way.
Rufus and Black Albrecht. So we fight Rufus and Black Albrecht. Albrecht was easy to beat. Rufus was very, very tanky, but nonetheless easy to beat. So then it was time for the rivalry. And when we went, well, before we went to the rivalry, Albrecht, the hold Ishmelga had over him was like kind of loosening, weakening, and then he teleported out of there real quick. We saw that he turned back into Franz Rydford like for a moment beforehand. So we get to fight Rufus, and obviously you guys already know how I feel about Rufus. I hate him, he's a scumbag. So we fight him. He was tricky, very, very tricky, but I never lost against him. It was definitely tough, a very tough fight. Kept me on the edge of my seat. So we beat him, we absorbed the power of the Auric Knight. Eustace freaking decks him in the face and knocks him out, deserved. And then we were going even further into the depths of the Imperial Fortress. Very nasty looking place, but for once I'm glad they didn't have giant spiders crawling around. Very nice. I don't like that. So we reached McBurn's, and we finally got an explanation on McBurn's, but not really. So McBurn's is a creature from this other reality, and they did a good job explaining it. How, like, let's see, I'm trying to look at it right now, because I know I recorded it. Let's see. We were raised to believe this is the one true world created by Adios. In fact, we're incapable of considering otherwise. The existence of angels and devils on other planes was as much as we were allowed to understand. So it's one of these things that I always contemplate on my own in the real world here. You know, what if there are things that we as humans cannot conceptualize? We can't even begin to imagine it. I remember when I was way younger, I think, you know, what would there be if there was no such thing as like life or death as a whole? Like literally nothing, no space, no time, nothing existed. Would there be something outside of existence? If so, could we even perceive it? Could we begin to think about it? Could our minds even allow us? And I'm sure that kind of taps into the whole inside of a matrix thing, you know, simulation too. I'm sure that that's also something that's interesting. You know, we can't understand it. And for the things we can't understand, we attribute it to gods. And we have religion there to, you know, just take it and be like, oh, I don't understand what this is. God did it. You know, all these characters did it. Things things on a higher plane, like, you know, are there beings on a higher plane that exist on a different dimension than ours? They could be walking among us right now and we can't even tell. Just like how when we walk among ants, can ants even perceive humans? Are their brains, well, not even their brains, is their entire being, can their being allow them to understand what we are, higher beings, higher than them? Just as, you know, there may be beings on a higher plane than us that we just can't even begin to, like, conceptualize. Very interesting, a very interesting topic that they started tapping into here. So, you know, I was very invested. And Emma said this is the example of the divergent laws, things we simply cannot understand or begin to explain. For example, no matter how far you try to fly or sail away from the continent, you're unable to progress past a certain point. Let's see. Yeah, by attributing everything we don't understand to Adios, we stop thinking for ourselves. And I do believe that has meaning here in the real world as well, which is very interesting. But it's like, even if you wanted to discover the truth of, you know, our existence, why we're here, how could we go about doing it? I'm sure if you tried to even start doing research, you'd probably be silenced pretty quick for certain reasons. But yeah, I'm sure that whole divergent law theory is a real thing in the real world. And it's like, you know, I feel like depending on what exists outside our realm, our reality, our world as we know it, is our meaning of being here, our true meaning of life, you know? Very interesting topic. And basically they said McBurn's is from outside of our reality. Half of him is from our world, the other half is from this other plane that we can't perceive or understand. So, basically he transforms into, he basically merges and turns into his true form. And he doesn't have his memories back yet, but he's like, if you fight hard enough, you know, I'll be able to awaken my memories. Now, this fight was actually pretty tough. The animations were absolutely incredible. And you can see the lights flashing in the background right now because I'm like watching the videos that I was recording while I'm discussing this. And once he understood, like, when we beat him, he remembered what, like, his memories. And I was curious because I was like, what is he talking about? He's like, so that's it. I spent all that time looking for answers, and it turns out. And then he was like, Campanella, that little rat got me good. And Ouroboros, huh? They couldn't have picked a better name than that. So he knows some insane lore now. And bro straight up apologized. He was like, yeah, sorry for the trouble, you guys. I was like, what? You're just gonna say sorry for all the crap you put us through from 2 to 4? So he's discovered something interesting. And I really am like more interested in Ouroboros now than like all the other plot lines before. So he says he needs to pay a visit to Campanella and the Grandmaster. Once again, Grandmaster back again. I feel like the Grandmaster is probably someone from beyond as well. I believe. I believe the Grandmaster is going to be the biggest boss yet. Like, screw, you know, Ishmelga. Grandmaster is on a different level. I guarantee it. And I can't wait to meet the Grandmaster. That's going to be awesome. So he gives us this holy flame, or this freaking, you know, this flame. And he's like, all right, peace. It'll help you. I was like, okay, cool. So we pull up, and before we go to fight Osborne, Sarah gives a little speech about how proud she is of us. And they played the OG Trails 1 theme for it. And I got such a rush of just happiness, just warmth. I was like, wow, they're really playing Trails 1's menu theme, the main menu theme. I was like, man, this is just great. So, it was really wholesome. It was really great. Everyone was getting all gassed up to fight. And I was just so excited. This was just good vibes all around. So, we get ready to go in. And my god, that Osborne fight was on a different level, dude. Seriously. Osborne was dripped out too. He looked sick. We see the Ebon Knight Ishmelga in the background. And then he pulls out his sword, and he basically confirms this is the strongest sword in the world. I was like, ah, Jesus, we're about to get bodied. So we go in to fight him in 3 waves. The first wave, fairly easy. I think my composition of like my teams that I set up was not good the first time around, and I'll get to that. But the first time around, I put Laura on the first phase, which I regret, because I popped Avalon Heart, and I literally beat him in like 1 cycle of 200% S-crafts. And I was like, oh crap, I probably should have saved Laura for like a different wave. The second wave was incredibly hard because I really didn't have many hard hitters at all. Also, I know I covered this the first time we fought Osborne, but his animations are absolutely sick. The third wave was the absolute hardest. I wish I put Elliot on my third team, because Muse, she couldn't really cover the healing solo. It was really tough. And the debuffs Osborne kept spamming. The fight was like 30-something minutes. And really, it just came down to me managing my character's health bars, because he couldn't really kill us. But when he'd do that one ability where it like had the sun laser beam, that would always take my characters to 200 health. And I had to have like a full heal ready on deck every single time he did that. So we beat him, and then it was time for the final rivalry. Ordine and Valimar versus the Ebon Knight Ishmelga. So as we were fighting him, definitely the absolute hardest fight in the game for me. That was like an absolute nightmare. I think I lost 4 times, and part of me, I think it was my pride, I didn't want to weaken the enemy and retry, so I just freaking kept retrying at his max strength. And guys, let me tell you something. This attack, remember how in Trails 1 I told you that Loa Erebos fight was like the craziest fight where we put the ball out, and then that one? The Ebon Knight. I'm going to play it right here, right now. This was the most insane attack in the game, hands down. I don't want to hear it. Nothing else can compare to this. This was incredible. And just seeing that this thing is planetary, like, my controller was shaking. It was shaking so hard, I thought my hand was gonna go numb. It was insane. Look at this crap. When I saw it go outside of the Imperial Fortress, I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be crazy. And I was like, it's still going. It's still going. And then they zoom out to the freaking planet. I was like, no shot. Absolutely insane. That's the malice of humanity. Enough to destroy the planet. Absolutely insane. This is why I love JRPGs too, dude. They do stuff like that, insane, like planet busters, and then it's just like, oh yeah, guess what? It only did 200,000 damage. But when I saw it, I was like, okay, guess I'll die. Okay, I guess I'm dead. But yeah, insane attack, the coolest one in the entire game. When we finally beat him, though, this portal opened up, and both Reen and Osborne jumped inside. Milliam was with us, and you know they had a heartfelt little exchange, and then they went in for the final blow, and then Reen emerges victorious with the Ebon Knight's like body, I guess you want to call it. And you know, it seemed all happy and good, but then Black Albert appeared, and he was like, nah, I'm all mad that I lost. Disappears, he dies. I was like, whoa, okay. I thought he'd get a little more than that. And then Reen's like, okay, this might just work. What do you think, Valmar? Can you make it? I was like, oh no, what's about to happen? Yeah. So it turns out Reen absorbed the Ebon Knight, and the malice and darkness, he just couldn't handle it. Because this is Ishmelga. It ate away at Dreikel's and Osborne. What? And we see him like getting corrupted, and we see Valimar like fully corrupted. I was like, what the heck? Everyone's getting all emotional. They're like, what are you gonna do? Because Valimar said, you know, he should be able to break through the atmosphere. So, you know, everyone's like, please don't go. And he's like, I have to do this. And then, you know, Reen, basically, Reen's gonna kill himself. He's gonna fly into space and kill himself because now he has Ishmelga inside of him. This is his best chance. So he flies up. Crow, Milliam, they join him. They're like, you know, this is just how it's supposed to be. We're gonna go with you. And dude, at this point, I was like tearing up. This was just breaking me, dude. I was like, oh my freaking god, not Reen. Like, I kind of thought, you know, what if Reen dies? I was like, dude, are you serious, man? This hurts so much. So he flies up, and they die. And then, you know, Reen promises that he'll meet them again somewhere, like somehow, somewhere. And we see all the characters looking up. They see like the feathers falling down. I was like, oh my freaking god, dude. You know, Elise had to see that. She falls down crying. Dude, this hurts me. Even though I don't like, you know, we're gonna get to the good part, but like, this hurts just looking at it again. I hate it so much. So they're like, cheer up, you know, we'll meet him again somewhere, somehow, somewhere. Then the credits roll in, and then, surprise, surprise, it said prerequisites for opening a path to the unknown have been satisfied. I was like, what? Alternate ending? Okay. So I followed the instructions that the game gave me, and just before we had to go fight Osborne, I went outside, and there was this weird little like orb. And when I interacted with it, it had me pick a team, and then Tovel pulled up. No. Tovel was like, yo, come to this shrine, you know? So we pull up to the shrine, and we see this dragon, and this is the same, well, the heavenly beast. This is the same beast that we killed at the end of 3, and it's like it's astral projection. And bro was like, you know what? If you can beat me, I'll open the gateway for you to like change fate. So we fight it. Very, very easy fight, to my surprise. Extremely easy. And then its name is finally revealed. You know, it's not like muffled out anymore. And it turns out it's the Holy Beast of Earth, Argress. I think, right? That's the name? Let me listen to it. Argress. So Argress gives us the Earthen Prison, I believe. The Earthen Prison? Yeah, the Earthen Prison. And I was like, awesome. So this is like a pocket dimension alternate ending type thing. And basically, we run through the entire fight again. I have to fight Osborne again. This time I picked my teams more carefully. I made sure to put Laura in the final team. And everything was very balanced. The second phase was still a little tough, but we made it through. And then the final phase, we kind of blitzed him. And once we went into that portal again, we had the final clash with Osborne. An option came up, and it said, tread the path to the unknown. So we come out, we run through the same spiel again, and just when Reen's about to, like, die, Franz Reinfeldt appears instead of Black Albert, and he's like, "This is your chance to use what was bestowed upon you." So we try it, and they were like, "Okay." Everyone gives us their power. It's like a freaking universal spirit bomb. I got Dragon Ball vibes from it. I was like, "This is sick. This is freaking awesome." So everyone's giving us their energy, and once we do that, we see Rutger and Leanne, and then of course we see Osborne. And they're like, "You need to purge this vile, pitiful flame from your soul." And then we see Ishmelga behind us, this nasty-looking creature. And I was like, "Oh crap!" So then Reem does his chant, and then he freaking purges, he expels Ishmelga out of him. I was like, "Oh, sick!" And then I realized this is the true final boss. So Bro, basically, because of the Earthen Prison, gets a form in the physical realm that we can fight, and this thing is nasty looking. You know, it's huge. I was like, "Oh crap!" So the Great One appears, Ishmelga Logue, and I was like, "Whoa, dude, this dude is sick looking." So we get ready to fight him. Unfortunately, the Divine Knights are out of power, but the entire squad pulls up. All the characters we've known, they pull up. They're like, "We can do this," and they're on like these platforms. So they have us pick our teams. Even Major Lecter and Claire pull up. They're like, "You can use you can use our our orders." So I pick a team, and my God, that was like really sick. I believe I made sure to like pick the most story appropriate teams. You know, with the SSS, Estelle and Joshua. What else? You know, stuff like that. And obviously, I made it. Well, I should have made it so that I was with New Class 7, but I kind of just wanted to have Vita and Aurelia on my team, and it was a little OP, I will admit. So once we get into the boss fight, they show that there are like these two different forms. We got like this colossal titan on the right side, and then we got like this azure bird-looking dragon on the left. And you know, each team is taking on one of the sections. The bird buffs it up, so Ishmelga is immune to magic, and the freaking Titan-looking dude buffs it, so Ishmelga is immune to physical. So I immediately realized we had to switch to the B and C teams and take those out first. So we went through that, blitzed them fairly quickly. I got Ishmelga down to about less than half health, and then not both of them. The Titan guy respawned, so I had to spend a bit of time killing him again. Once we killed him again, I went back to Ishmelga, and then we beat him. It was actually a way easier fight than I expected, kind of like when we fought the Vermilion Knight in Trails 2? I want to say 2? Yeah, it was 2. So we beat him, everything was great, very happy, and once we beat him, he tried to run. Bro made like a crack of reality, tried to run. Both Reen and Milliam jumped through to stop him, and when we got there, Bro was a little mess of itself, quaking in his boots, disgusting foul creature. And Ishmelga was literally just a creation of humans, unfortunately. And Bro was trying to like persuade us. Everyone was like, "No,
This is the
beginning of the new age, an age ruled by humanity." Milliam turns into the sword as a last-ditch effort. You know, Bro turns into a sword and tries to kill us. You know, Reen's like, "Farewell, I hope you make your way to Adios." Because really, at the end of the day, if you want to think about it objectively, it's not Ishmelga's fault that he turned out that way. It was humanity's fault. Humanity created him. It's like fate. If you guys know about fate, you know, the Holy Grail is twisted from desires of humans, mankind. And, you know, these creatures that were supposed to be very helpful towards us got corrupted because of our own desires. We literally saw that when the Great One got split up because the people in charge of the Septerians of Fire and Earth went to war. They wanted to get rid of the others so they could have all the powers to themselves. This is their fault. So Reen splits the sword in half. We get to have a nice chat with Osborne. Nice father and son chat. It was pretty sad. He's like, "It's time for me to go." And while he's leaving, we see Rutger and Leanne again, just as they leave. And I'm like, "Oh man, you know, there were some great characters." Then we leave this little dimension ourselves, and we're like, "It's over. It's over." And they play the Trails 3 theme, the Trails 3 menu theme, and I was like, you know, this is also like the perfect song because it brings both generations of Class 7 together. And I was like, wow, dude, this is fantastic. Like, I was crying at this point, dude. Like, I'm choked up. It was perfect. Perfect ending. So, Crow and Milliam start disappearing.
I told you I was
And
running
I'm
on
like, dang,
borrowed
dude,
time anyway.
here we go.
So,
This
how about
part
you
that
guys
we
set
knew
me
would
off with
happen.
some smiles this time around.
But then all the Divine Knights appeared, and this was just perfect. This is like poetic, the perfect way to tie the end of like the Divine Knights. The whole reason why the Divine Knights were split in the first place was because of the witches and the gnomes watching over the Septarian of Fire and Earth going to war, and in the end, Franz took control of like the chief of the kin of Earth, and then Rose, who is the whatchamacallit, she is the elder of the kin of Fire. Both of them came together to wish for Crow to have his body back and basically become human again, no longer an immortal. And I was like, wow. They're like normally I can see how people would be like, oh, friendship is magic. No, Crow should have died. I don't care. That makes sense. That actually makes plenty of sense, dog. They literally had the power of the Septarian of Fire and Earth together. Yes, anything is possible. And that's what they chose to do. They used that power to give Crow humanity again. And I was like, wow, dude, this is just great. The whole scene was so wholesome. They spent all their power to give Crow a body. I was like, let's go. Let's freaking go. And freaking Elliot was like, we did it. I was like, yeah, that's right, Elliot. So, you know, but Milliam doesn't get a body back because, you know, her situation is a lot different. So she goes back into the sword. We say our goodbyes to everyone. Valamar basically says how much, you know, he's been proud of Ring's growth. Even though he's a machine, it warms his heart to see how he's grown and progressed. And I was like, dude, Valamar, if anything, Valamar is like a third father to Ring, straight up. So we say goodbye to him and Ordine. Ring's hair goes back to normal, which is very weird. I'm gonna have to get used to that again. And right before Franz disappears, he's like, oh yeah, Ring uses Altina. When you find a moment, pay a visit to the workshop's biological research wing and bring the sword with you. I was like, no shot, we're gonna get Milliam back. And right then, I already knew what he was talking about because they showed it like twice. The freaking chamber, the pod that was sitting there up in the workshop. I was like, what is that? What is it? So, Rufus, Lecter, Claire, they're like, you know, we have to take responsibility. Claire and Lecter will resume their roles in their departments, while Rufus will take the blame for Osborne, and Shirley and Cedric take off. Cedric's like, you know, I want to join Ouroboros. This is what's right. It's my path now. And I'm honestly rooting for Cedric, because I'm glad he discovered like who he really is, and I'm glad he stopped being a little brat. So I didn't want to have to freaking break his face. So I'm very glad he turned out the way he did. And then he with Shirley was like, oh, I'll introduce you to my dad. And then bro was like, you can introduce me to him? You mean as your... And I was like, oh, Cedric has a little crush. Too bad for him, though. She's not into men, so I'm sorry, Cedric. It was never meant to be. So Cedric goes off and joins Ouroboros, and he's like, you know, goodbye, everyone. So that was interesting. I can't wait to see what happens with him and his path now. And then we get a time skip, a half-year time skip. So, you know, they're talking about all the things, the aftermath of the war. So many things were going down. Let's see. Then here's the scene. We go to the Black Workshop, and of course inside the pod was Milliam, a backup Milliam body. And they begin this ritual to basically put the sword's soul into Milliam, which was a success. And I was like, oh my god, let's go, Milliam's back. And then freaking Eustace and Altina, you know, like just rush her and hug her. I was like, oh my god, this is great. This is the best ending ever. And then everyone hits her with the welcome back, Milliam. And I was like, oh my god, this game is too good, man. This game is way too good. So then, in come the credits. The Legends of Heroes. And it's a wedding, and obviously it's Olivert and Shara, the Silver Streak's wedding. And I was like, oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. They throw the flowers behind them. And we get to see everyone all dressed up, my students, my kids all dressed up. And I was like, oh, I honestly didn't even recognize Yuna at first. It was very wholesome getting to see all the characters. Green looked real freaking clean in the suit. Very nice. We get to see the pictures of all the characters during the wedding. Very nice. And the biggest shock to me, Milliam caught the flowers. And I was like, wait, she and Eustace are gonna get married? And I was like, you know what? I'm happy for him. I know the whole issue with her body looking the way it is, that's a problem for me. But hey, I'm pretty sure they're both of legal age at this point. And I was like, I'm so happy for them, dude. I'm so freaking happy. Literally, Eustace is top 5 for character development just because of how he treated Milliam at first, and now they're gonna get married. That's actually incredible. That's incredible. And then let's see, we see all the people, you know, standing around celebrating, and then we see Agate looking at Tita, and I was like, Tita's gonna be next. And you could see Red, and she's teasing her. She's like, when are you and him, you two next, right? We see the SSS, Randy, Tot, everyone, dude. It was so satisfying. Then we see Reen at the end, standing by that tree alone, and then we see all the classmates, OG Class 7, coming together. I was like, oh my god, this is just the perfect ending for any game I've ever seen, dude. Like, this is just beautiful. Fantastic game. And we also see Milliam again with the flowers with freaking Eustace. And we share a drink with the boys. And I was like, let's go. Let's freaking go. These are boys. I have never played a game like this where I actually cared so much for all these characters. Because I think back in Trails 1, I told you, like, there are a lot of characters in OG Class 7 that I just didn't care for. I didn't care to remember. Obviously, I think I care more for the new Class 7, just because they're my students. But this couldn't have been better. This couldn't have been better. Fantastic ending. We get to see the Trails of Cold Steel has now reached its conclusion. Thank you for journeying with us through this saga until the very end. We see that final picture. See you again someday, somewhere. And like, I'm just freaking balling at this point. I have to like blow my nose like crazy. I blow my nose like crazy. And we see Rin getting dressed. He's back to being a teacher again at Doors' branch campus. And we see that picture with Rin and Muse. And I guess depending on who you pick for your final, you know, person there on that picture. We see our 50 Mira as well from Crow. Then we get that call on the Archist from Muse. And I'm like, I wonder what that's about. He taps the button and then he heads out. And I'm like, I wonder what that is. They left it very open-ended and I love it. That's really awesome. Then we fade to white. That's the end of the game. It was just perfect. This game all around the board was just pure perfection. And words cannot begin to explain how much healthier I feel mentally after finishing this game. Like, when I first made that review video for Trails 1, I was at such a low point, and I remember how I felt then, and like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't really know how I was feeling about life and all that. I wouldn't say I was, you know, suicidal or anything, but I was definitely on the verge of like falling into depression. And I've only fallen into depression 2 times in my life that I can think of. And that was definitely very close to being the 3rd. And this game pulled me out and just gave me so much hope, straight up. Like, the amount of lore and the fact that it's still not over. This game still isn't over. I'm talking like it's over, but this is the end of a saga. It literally says it on the main screen, you know, for the title. But it was perfect. This game was absolutely perfect. I loved it. Thank you so much, falcom, for making this game. I can't begin to thank you enough. This game is something I would recommend to anyone, whether you like JRPGs or not. It's perfect. It's perfect in every sense of itself. But yeah, real quick, we'll do our last, because I know we were doing this early, Trails, and I kind of stopped. My top 10 characters. Number 1, Reen, obviously. 2, Altina. 3, Milliam. 4, Crow. 5, 5, I think I'll actually go with Rufus. 6, Muse. 7, oh, it's kind of a tough one. It's a bit of a tie. That's a bit of a tie there. 7, I'll give it to Osborne. 8, I'll give it to Leanne. 9, I'll give it to Ash Carbide. And 10, I'll actually give it to Yuna. Do I want to give it to Yuna though? Actually, 10, I'll give it to... I'm trying to think of like the character story arcs throughout all the games, so it's kind of, you know, a little tough to recall everything fully accurate. Wow, this is actually kind of tough. 10th place, I will give it to Yuna. I think it is actually safe to give it to Yuna. Top waifus at the end of the game. We'll do the top 5. Number 1, Muse, obviously, because I picked her. 2, I'll still give it to Aurelia, even though she wasn't pickable. 3, Sarah. 4, Claire. 5, not Sharon. It's not Sharon anymore. Sorry, Sharon. Number 5 will be Laura. Actually, no, I can't give it to Laura, dog. I'm sorry, it can't be Laura. I don't like any of Class 7, the OG Class 7 like that. It's weird, but I just don't. Number 5, I'll give it to... honestly, Emma. No, not Emma. Nope. No. I can't be swayed just because they're freaking massive, you know? I can't be swayed like that. I'll give it to freaking... Nah, I shouldn't pick her. I don't even know who she is, really. I was gonna say, what's her face? Part of the SSS. I think she's Lloyd's girl. I forgot her name. I think it started with an E, maybe? Oh well, I forgot her name. 5th place, I'll give it to Shirley. Yeah, I think that's fair. And then we'll do the top 5 favorite songs from across all the games. Actually, I'll have to do top 10. Top 10, because if I do 5, that's just not fair. Let's see here. I'll get a list. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I made a list, a notepad list, and I will be back in a second with my top 10. You know what? Screw it. This list is not going to be like a top 10. This is just going to be a list of all my favorite songs in order, like the ones that I put on my playlist and listen to when I'm not playing the game, okay? Like, I've already sorted out an insane amount. Like, it's way more than 10 now. So now I just have to rearrange it in, like, the order that I like the most. This is going to take a while. All right, that took a long time. So, we're going to run through all the songs that are in my top 20 here. And actually, you can look at it here if you want to pause it real quick. Well, I'll just read it off before I switch over. Actually, let me just move this back down then. Dining Bar F. I picked Dining Bar F because it's a very chill song, and I remember when I heard it when Claire had us come visit her in the bar. That's when she immediately got put onto the waifu list because that was just majestic. Thor's Military Academy Festival. I picked this one because, as I said before, another majestic song. It made me felt like I was in like a fairy tale fantasy world where, like, you know, I'm in the trees, the woodland trees surrounded by like elves and fairies and stuff. That song made me feel like that. Let's see here. For Exceed, honestly, I feel like this is Crow's second theme, really. Like, this is him and Ordine when they're getting serious. Every time I heard this, I think about them. That's why I picked this. To Grass Tomorrow, I picked this one because it felt like, and there are some others that kind of feel like this, but this really did feel like a race against the clock, end of the world type scenario, and I had to defeat them, you know, to win. Endure grief. The moment I heard this, when Cedric was like, "Let's see how far you've come since the Grawl," that was just heat. That was one of the best songs to get me hyped up for like a boss. Very, very good song. Get Over the Barrier. Get Over the Barrier. I remember at the end of Trails of Cold Steel 2, they played that when we were playing as the SSS. We were playing as Lloyd and what's her face? I forgot her name. The very well-dressed ninja lady, the Kunoichi. That song is epic, especially the beginning part of it. It kind of falls off later. That's why I kind of put it down lower. But the way it starts off is just powerful. Still to the Front. Still to the Front is the perfect song after, you know, the troubles have been resolved. You know, we're calming down, relaxing, you know, things are settling now. And I really like this song whenever they play it because it's always chill, very chill afterwards. Unlikely Combination was played when Leanne and Osborne teamed up to jump us in the Black Workshop. When I heard this, I was like, we're dead. We're screwed. I am not winning this. Those vibes that you get with it, it's like you're done for. You're not winning this fight, dog. Your back is against the wall. When you hear this, this song is rooting for you because you're the one who's going to get murdered. So I love that song. With Our Own Hands. I love With Our Own Hands because it's like, it's Trails 4's version of Liftoff. Because, you know, With Our Own Hands is what played during, like, the Zobber Soldat fights. The Soldat fights when we have to summon Valimar. And I really love this song. I don't think it's better than Liftoff, but it comes very close. Because next, we have Liftoff. Liftoff, I could listen to this song all day, every day. In Trails 3, whenever this would play, it just got me so much more hyped to fight Zobber Soldats. Because it really is just an incredible theme. And yeah, it definitely deserves to be one above With Our Own Hands. Those two go hand in hand. Awakening. Awakening was from Trails 2. And this is basically the song of You're About to Get Rescued. This and another song, or actually, I think it is just this one. This is the rescue song, really. But yeah, that scene still stays in my head to this day when everyone saved us from McBurn to Crow and everyone on the Pantogrill. Fantastic song. I will never, ever forget that song. Ever. It'll always be there. Next, we have Spiral of Erebos, which is played for the final dungeon of Trails 3. Listening to this song while we were running through there gave me a sense of urgency to save our daughter, Altina. That was pretty much the only thing I was thinking about when I was going through there. I was like, they captured Altina. I don't want them to turn her into a sword. They captured her. We're going to go save her. That was my only objective. Screw everyone else there. I was there to save Altina. And there's a certain part of the song where that desperation just hits. And I'm like, come on, we got to go faster, faster. All these fights, 200% S-Craft, get it over with. Burst through it. We got to save Altina. We have to. So, desperation, loved that freaking song. The Glint of Cold Steel, I shouldn't even have to explain this one. This is the basic battle for Trails 1. When you fight a normal fight, this song plays. I always stall it out to 1 minute 26 seconds so I can hit the peak of it and bust out the S-Craft. So freaking good. Absolute peak. Next, Blade Game. As you guys already know, if you watched my first Trails review video, Blade Game was the original song that kind of pulled me out of my pit. Hearing that song gave me like warmth. It made me happy. There's not much else I can say about it. The feelings I feel for this song, I explained in my first video reviewing Trails. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Fantastic journey. I do wish that Blade Game stayed around for the entire series. I think that would have been awesome. Because I know they did like the, not super mashup, the super whatchamacallit. The super arrange. They did a lot of super arranges of like certain songs, but not Blade Game, which kind of sucks. Next, Arya, Holy Saint. This was what we heard when we went into the shrines in Trails 3. I can't even begin to explain how incredible this song was. Like, I automatically assumed it was Vita singing, which it may or may not be still. I'm not sure. But it's such a beautiful song. It's so good, dude. Like, I have this, I'll play this all the time when I'm just doing my classwork and stuff. When I want to relax, I listen to this song. It's opera, right, I believe? So good. So good. Great Power. Great Power's on here because I'm a Souls boy. I'm a Souls player. This song is the Souls song of the series. It is the most Souls-coded song. And this plays when you fight Loa Luciferia in Trails 1. Could never forget that. So, obviously, it deserves to be on this list high up. And obviously, this is our top 5. So, this is where things get serious. Blue Destination's next. Blue Destination is straight up Green and Crow's shared theme when they fight each other. This song is beautiful and painful at the same time because you know what will happen in the end. It's inevitable. One of us is going to lose. Obviously, Crow's going to lose because, hey, we're built different. Green's built a little bit different. But yeah, this song is very, very beautiful, and I can't wait to listen to it, which we are going to do once I'm done, listing them off. We're just going to listen to a bunch of them. I wouldn't say we'll listen to the whole songs, but we will listen to, the peaks, my favorite parts of them. All right, time for the top 3. Belief. Self-explanatory. Best fight music in the entire game. When we got into a mini-boss or a boss in Trails 1, this would play. Best. Absolutely the best. Without a doubt. No battle theme really can top Belief. And I was tempted to put the super arrange here instead of the original Belief. But, I guess it's technically the same thing. Belief definitely deserves to be on here. Number 3. Next, we have number 2. To become the foundation of the world. You guys already know this. This is the default rescue song for Trails 2. Every time we'd run into someone who was about to beat the brakes off of us, this would play as someone else saves us. And I always think about the scene where Sharon saved us. And my God, this song is just perfect. It really is. Every part of this song is perfect from start to finish. And it's amazing. It's amazing. The peaks are just too high. They're incredible. So yeah, number 1. You probably expected this from how much I kept talking about it. Atrocious Raid, the SAV version. I guess that's what it's called. I think it's the super arrangement. Yeah, this is a super arrangement. When this played, listen, Atrocious Raid is already great. But when they played this during the air battles for Trails 4, I cannot explain the amount of hype. Hype is an understatement. When I say this song made me ready to go fight everything, even the IRS. This song makes me brave enough to fight the IRS. I'm not gonna do it. I would never try, IRS, if you're listening. But this song makes you want to fight everything and anything. God. I want to fight everything now. So yeah, these are my top 20, and we're going to start off from the bottom of the list once I get back from using the bathroom. All right, so first up, we got Danny Bar F. Very chill song. I like it a lot. I would definitely listen to this as well alongside Aria when I'm doing my classwork. I really wish they played this more. This song is so underrated. This fits the mood too, because it's raining really heavily outside. I might actually have to close my window. Don't want rain getting in on my computer. There we go. Ugh, dusty. So yeah, I love Dining Bar F. That'll always be in my playlist forever. Next, Thor's Military Academy Festival. You can't tell, but you don't feel a mystical vibe from this, right? A magical vibe. Just imagine it's nighttime, you're in a woodland forest, one of those fantasy lands where it's berries and elves and stuff, walking around in giant trees and stuff. You're sitting there chilling, looking up at the stars. You can't tell me you don't feel that. Absolutely love this song. So good. I do wish that we got to hear more as well, but maybe it was just my fault for not taking in enough of it. So freaking good, dude. I'm telling you. Peak. So yeah, very great song. Next, Exceed. I got PTSD from this. Freaking Duvalie too. Duvalie screaming is mostly what I hear when I hear this, and I hate it. They went hard on this one. So good. So good. All right, very good. Are there any more peaks I'm thinking about? This part's also great. I knew I was forgetting something. So good. So freaking good. Alright, next, To Grasp Tomorrow. Okay, the part that I like most here specifically is 1.03. A minute, 3 seconds in. Violence killed it. Wasn't that a little overkill? Haha, no such thing. I'll never forget that either. Milliam and Elliot have the best interactions. So freaking good. Next, Endure Grief. We got our first Trails 4. Woo! Let's see how far you've come since the crawl. We won't let our past stay our blades. I always think about like how Shirley was fighting whenever I hear this. Because Shirley never actually went all out, but she was always a menace in every single fight, dog. What the heck is that? That was a firefly. I thought it was a missile. So good. Definitely one of the best mini boss themes, or boss. I can't really tell at this point. Probably mini boss. Yeah, so good. So freaking good. Honestly, just peak. Absolutely amazing. Next, Get Over the Barrier. Now, specifically, I just like the intro part, so I'll cut it off pretty early, but this beginning part, so good. Oh, the violin. Like, dude, this beginning part. Do you hear that? That roughness? It sounds rough. Listen to that. Get over the barrier. Woo. Oh my god. So my guess, I believe, was this the birdcage then? Because I'm pretty sure, even though this song was played in Trails 2, it looks like this is one of the older games that I have yet to play. Spoilers. But if it's called Get Over the Barrier, I'm guessing whenever this plays, the birdcage is happening, right? Maybe. Imagine a super arrangement of this. Woo! Sheesh. So yeah, peak. Absolutely love it. This would be higher if I really cared for the rest. Maybe I don't care for the rest because whenever I heard this song, the fight was over relatively quickly. So I didn't get to enjoy it to its fullest. So it doesn't hit the same. Next, Still to the Front. Oh, yep. The calmness after a fight. Escaping the Black Workshop. We're in the middle of flying back. Relishing the victory. So good. Get back here! They're freaking doobly. Get back here! Oh, here we go. This song is just pure victory, you know? This is victory, dog. We pulled through. We made it through a hard mission with our lives. Victorious. Oh, here we go. So good. So good. So freaking good. All right, up next, we have Unlikely Combination, the Song of Death. PTSD. By PTSD. The S-craft spamming. The debuffs. So many debuffs. It's crazy because I think about when Leanne and Osborne were fighting together, and then separately, they were both menaces. Such a pain, dude. They were absolute pain. Let me try to find the peak here. Where was the peak for me? Yeah, right around here. I mostly put it this high up because of that beginning. Like, that beginning was just nuts. Like, there are very few trail songs that start you off like this. Just hits you out of nowhere. You're like, oh, okay, guess I'll die. Very, very powerful. This is the main reason why it's up so high. Kind of just like Get Over the Barrier. The beginning is, it just hits you really hard. It does mellow out throughout the rest of the song. But that intro is just insane. Up next, we have With Our Own Hands. So good. So good. Valimar, get in here. Bring a soldat with you. I loved hearing this while we were in the middle of like the soldat fights. So good. Soldat, I mean. Saber soldats. Let's see, another part. Let's see. So good, dude. I hope I don't get copyright strike. I'm pretty sure I can't for the video game song. Because Falcom, they actually cooked like extremely hard. They cooked a feast here. Yeah, so good. Absolutely peak. But obviously Liftoff surpasses it. Acknowledged. So good, dude. Acknowledged. Oh. This song, I feel like this song powered me up so that I never lost a single freaking Valimar fight. Seriously, this song gave me cheat codes, straight up. And then again, like I told you guys, music can really affect your state of mind. Oh boy, it's raining harder and harder. It's like a mist outside. What the heck? That's kind of worrisome. I hope that doesn't fly in the window. I don't care. I'm listening to Liftoff. Here we go. Here it comes. Oh, so good. I'll tell you once we hit the peak. The peak of it is coming up soon. And here it comes. Ooh. And just when I think it's gonna slow down, it's like, nope, we're still going, baby. Keep it up the tempo. Bro, the pianist ate. He ate. So good. So good. So freaking good. And right when it comes down, right back to the beginning. Peak. Absolutely peak. And I love that. I can't do it that fast, but this part. It's tough. That's tricky. But yeah, up next, I actually changed the list a bit. Number 8, I switched to Gamble All or Nothing, and I moved the Glint of Cold Steel to honorable mentions. I know, how terrible with me. But You know, it is what it is. Obviously, I'll mention the honorable mentions once we get to the top 3. But yeah, continuing where we left off, Awakening, number 10. I just see the ship flying over. The courageous. Everyone dropping down. Oh god, I got a heavy rain and flood warning all of a sudden. Oh my god, it's getting darker and darker. Oh my god. Hey, I don't care though. I'm listening to Awakening, bro. And it's fantastic. You know what game is great? When you can hear a song and think of like all the moments that were like the song was played for. Oh my god, dude. This game is so good. It's too peak. They cooked too hard. It's insane. Let's see. This end part was the good part too. Wait for it. I love it when they loop the song back around. Peak. So good. But yeah, on to the next. We have Spiral of Erebos. Now specifically, I do like the part around the 2-minute mark. This song's pretty good. Again, had me in a rush, right? I was like, I'm not gonna lose Altina. But this part specifically was just insane. Let's see. 244. Right here. This is where my heart was racing. The drums. I was like, we gotta go save Altina. Allie, I'm coming. We're gonna get you. My daughter, we gotta get you. All the bosses, mini bosses, out of my way. We're gonna get you. Then it picked up again, even more. I was like, oh my god, we gotta go. Rutger, freaking Leanne, McBurns, everyone, out of my way. Even Millie at the time. I was like, get out of my way, clear. Beat the brakes off you guys if I have to. Rufus, screw you, let's go. And when we saw them at the bottom, I was like, come on, we're right there. Let's go. Get down there and rescue her. So freaking good, dude. So good. Fantastic song. Next, Glint of Cold Steel. Oh, wait. That's the wrong one, actually. It was supposed to be... Gamble All or Nothing. That was the song that it was supposed to be. So, I saw in the top comment here, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounds like they used basketballs hitting the floor to make, like, the beat, which makes a lot of sense. It definitely sounds like basketballs. And if that's true, they're absolute legends. Because this song gets you so hyped. You can hear the basketballs hitting the court. That's the sound of basketballs, supposedly. They run to the enemies. Let's blitz them, 200%. Blow them up. Keep going. We're not stopping. We got Aurelia on our side. Nothing can stop us. But yeah, the song isn't all that long, but overall it's like the beat and everything, how it gets you hyped to fight. That's why it's so high up. Next, Blade Game. I don't have to even say anything here. We'll just listen. I'm just thinking back to how simple it was back in 1. So simple, dude. The field exercises, oh my god. Wow. Doing simple tasks. And now we save the world. Truly the legend of heroes. The motorcycle. So good. It's so good, dude. It's so good. All right. That was beautiful. Next, Arya, Holy Saint. I'm gonna kind of get to the part where it kind of picks up a bit more. There we go. This part is beautiful. So many parts. The entire song is incredible. Someone please tell me, did Vita sing this? I feel like this would be Leanne's theme, to be honest. So good. Bro, they had no right cooking this hard. And then let's see, the part where it really got great for me. Here we go. This is it. I get chills through my whole body. I just feel refreshed. Here comes the crimes! So good! So good! Peak! So good! That climb at the end was just god tier. Oh my god. Honestly, I kind of wish I put it above Great Power, but Great Power hits different because it's a soul song. Right from the very beginning to the end. I'm like, oh? Oh? Oh, 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 oh. I'm like, oh crap. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're fighting God now. Oh. Freaking insane. It kind of slows down a bit, but right here, this is where it gets... this secured the spot easily. Right here, let's listen to this. Despair. Hopelessness. Overwhelming, absolute power. There's nothing you can do. You can barely breathe. The energy is suffocating. You're doomed. That is just godly. And then this part too. Where is it? This part's great too. This is when I first had to face that nuclear bomb crap that broke through at me. So good. Also, I almost forgot to mention that we got the reveal that when we were in that like zone, when we fought Loa originally, those were all Awakeners who had died, those swords in the ground, which just adds another level to just how disturbing it was. Blue Destination. I'm so glad Crow is still alive, dude. I don't care if it's power, friendship, or whatever. It made sense to me, and I'm very happy that he's still with us. Here it comes. This is where my favorite part comes in. This is their magnum opus. This song carries an immense amount of weight behind it. All of Trails 1 and 2 was really for Crow. Remember when we thought it was as simple as him just shooting Osborne and it was done? Man, were we wrong. So freaking good, dude. Let's see. This part was okay. But yeah, most of the beginning part was just peak. Now, before we get into our top three, we have our honorable mentions. First off, EOV. This is in number 1. Chills when I first heard this. But yeah, it was mostly just for that first 13 seconds. I mean, it gets pretty good. It does get pretty good around certain parts. Pretty good. Like, godly song, but I mostly only cared for the beginning. Next we have Blitzkrieg. And again, this is only a song that like I just like for a tiny little portion. Like overall, this is when we were fighting on the Rhineford train. This part was okay. I mean, the whole song up until this part was decent, but it's just this part that was peak to me. On the train. Here we go. I got the long AoE ability. Hit the crit now. So yeah, that was pretty much the only part that I liked about that song. Pretty good though. And then of course the Glint of Cold Steel. I really only liked 126 because I would stall every fight until that point just to do S-crafts. So good. It's so good. But yeah, time for the top 3, you guys. I hope you're ready. Belief. Obvious. It had to be Belief, number 3. It had to be. And I love this like second phase it kicks into. And I love the sound effect they have around this part. Oh, wait for it. It's different from the first time around. It sounded like so good. So good. And now number 2. Dude, I'm still impressed that Eustace and Maki has sung this. I'm truly impressed. The fact that they were able to sing this song is just beyond me. They are truly gifted. They should sing alongside Shara. What a crazy trio they would be. Her dancing and their singing, they could take over the world. I do wish they played some of like the classic songs though at the end of 4. I think that would have been sick. I see it now. I'm singing, I was sitting there like, oh crap. The violin. I still gotta give it to them though. They made some killer final bosses. I still think Trails of Cold Steel 2 had the hardest final boss. Absolutely. Like, you knew it was hard when you had the option to buy overpowered, like, hits for characters. Like, you could literally buy Vita. That's how strong that dude was. The White Loa, that one was tough. Let's see. Still back into this part. Oh, this part. It picks up good on this part. Dun 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. And then how they bring it back? Get back here! Truly the best. I didn't mind getting rescued when I got to hear this song. Here it comes when they loop it back around perfectly. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. So good, so good. And now for the number one best song in the entire, not franchise, but like the entire Cold Steel series, Atrocious Raid SAV. When you hear this, you're like, oh god, it's time, baby. It's time. You knew someone was pulling up on someone when this got played. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, ah. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. I hope we get to hear this in Reverie. I truly hope so. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. So freaking good, dude. So good. It's peak. This really is the best song. Oh my god. So great, dude. Dun, 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 dun. Perfect battlefield music. Especially the air fights. Holy crap, dude. Every single time this was played, it was for like an air battle. Let's go, Reem. Time to put our teamwork to the test. Yeah. Everyone running out the ship to their directions, the boys team, the girls team. Oh, it gets me so hyped to hear this and watch them running, getting ready to take down the intruders. Like, this is the perfect defense. Because remember, this song is the very first song we heard playing Trails War. The very first song. They showed the defense of Guerrilla Fortress. So good, dude. This song, Atrocious Raid, fits for a defense song. It's so good. Defending the base. Intruders. Split up. We'll take them out. So freaking good, dude. The best song in the entire game, the entire series, dude. I'm like bursting out with freaking hype. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. I gotta stop the song, but I love this part so much. Bum, bum, bum. Dum, 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 dum. Enemy airships flying in, everyone's standing there looking, getting ready to fight. I'm like, let's go! Bring it on, come on! Let's fight! Yes! Yo, me and Shirley, we get along so well. Straight up. Like, I'm totally with Shirley in her attitude, just wanting to fight everyone and everything. But yeah, I gotta stop it here before this video gets way too long. I mean, it's already the longest Trails video I've made, I believe. But yeah, thanks to everyone who watched. This, like, I'll give my last thing. For obviously, the game isn't finished. We have another one that I bought already, and I need to download it. This game has been a journey. It has helped my mental health significantly. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't play this game, and I'm so happy that back in 2021, I pirated the game and then completely forgot about it. Because I believe if I had played it back then and forced myself to play it, I wouldn't have enjoyed it at all. I probably would have just uninstalled it and moved on to the next thing. But because I forgot about it, it sat there for 2 years. And then when it finally became a rainy day and I needed something to pick me up out of the freaking rut I was in, I said, screw it. I don't want to play any of these games that I have in Steam, freaking Battle.net, Epic Games. I got nothing I want to play. Origin, even my emulators, nothing. And I said, you know what? Here's this random game in my files that's taking up 25 or so gigabytes. I could just delete it, but I got nothing better to do. Let me play it. And because of that little coincidence, the fact that I didn't delete it over the course of 2 years, I discovered my favorite game series of all time. Thank you so much, Falcom, for your incredible games. The music, the characters. Thank you so much to the voice actors and actresses. I can't believe that I got to enjoy my favorite game ever around this time, especially too. Because I already told you guys in the last video, I used to be the type of person who would never play a single player game, had to be open world, AAA, multiplayer. And at the end of the day, GTA 5 was pretty much the only one that fit that. I didn't really like anything else. And as I started spanning out and playing other games, I began to broaden my horizon. I played more indie games. I played more single-player story-driven games where I didn't have to be incredibly creative and come up with a story of my own to enjoy the game. You know, GTA 5 can be a nightmare experience when you're playing alone, but I have friends, and we were able to make our own stories and have fun. But playing these games brings new meaning to my life, and it helps me think. It helps me gather myself. And whenever life is extremely stressful, I come here The moment I launch a Trails game, everything else around me disappears. I put the headsets on, I'm listening to the music, I'm playing the game, I'm fully invested in their world, their politics, their characters, their relationships. I'm in that game. I am Ring Schwarzer. And I couldn't be happier that they created a game this incredible. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I will never forget this game. I will never forget these people, these voice actors, everyone, the mechanics, the story, the world building. Everything is just perfect. And the way it heals my mind is like when I watch Fairy Tale for the first time, when I watch Gurren Lagann for the first time. This is up there with them, possibly even higher. And I just can't say thanks enough. So once again, thank you so much for this incredible journey. Thank you so much for watching my videos and watching me go through this journey. I will make another video, obviously, again, once I play Into the Reverie, but I probably will just play all of the old Trails games before I play Reverie, just because I want to be able to understand the SSS and Estelle and all of them a bit more. But yeah, thank you so much. Blood Moon FT, it's been real. I'll see you in the next video. Later.